This is the original Borza in Walkinstown, and we have a shop also in Kimmage. My mum and dad started this shop 55 years ago. We've seen great times in the business overall, but this last year has proved to be the most difficult ever. We don't know whether we're coming or going anymore with the cost of living rising the way it is. We're very conscious that our customers are not able to afford high increases because they're being hit too. We just don't know where we're supposed to pull resources from in order to stay open, basically, because things are so bad right now. But obviously, we'll always pull as much as we can to keep our business going. As I said, it's a family-run business, and we'll do our very best to look after our customers in any way we can. Things are tough right now because everything has increased on us, from our electricity to our gas, our packaging, everything, our products. Every single day there's a product going up. Everything has doubled and tripled in price. We try to keep our prices down. Unfortunately, the saying cheapest chips is a thing of the past because it doesn't work anymore. We hit 32 euros for a bag of potatoes only last month. Never in my life, in my 58 years of life, have I seen a bag of potatoes at 32 euros. When you've cleaned and peeled that bag of potatoes, it works out at nearly 65, 70 euros. And trying not to pass on that cost to our customers is very hard, but we managed to get through it and we hope to keep going.
Now, the Italian chipper is part of the fabric of Irish society. Think of where you're from and you'll surely be able to name a local takeaway with an Italian name over the door. Teresa Borza Forte, there's a famous name, owner of the original Borza in Walkinstown, has joined me now in studio to talk about the family tradition and life behind the counter. Good afternoon, Teresa.
Hi, Ray, and hi, everybody that's listening.
Now, you are how many generations down from the originals?
I am second generation. My mum and dad started off our business here in Ireland.
And came from Italy?
They came from, well, my dad came from Australia. My mum came from Italy. My dad had emigrated to Australia and he was called back by my grandmother, who in the meantime had transferred to Ireland.
Aha.
Yes.
Right. And what age was your mum and dad when they started?
My mum was 12 when she came to Ireland. She came to work for a lovely family who treated her like a daughter, obviously, in the Five Lamps.
So she was home help? Or
she was, no, she worked in the chipper.
Aha, sort of an apprenticeship?
Sort of, yes. Yeah. She worked there until she was 18 years old and her wages was sent back to my grandparents in Italy. And when she was 18, then she moved out and she started her own business with her sister. Her sister had come over in the meantime as well, and her brother. Right. Yeah.
And I heard over the years that a lot of the people who come from Italy to set up and work in chippers in Ireland are from all the same area.
Yes, we're predominantly all from the same area. What happened was the original immigrants that came into Ireland would come over, family members would help them set up a business, and then they would invite others, their family members, to come over and they would set them up in business, and that's how it grew the way it did.
And it goes way back. I saw a mention of 1880.
As far as the 1800s, yes, it goes back, yes. And originally it started off more or less in England, moved to Portstewart, and then it travelled into south of Ireland. Yeah.
Like in the early 1900s, there were over 200 fish and chip shops in Dublin.
That's right.
And the area, it's halfway between Naples and Rome.
That's correct. It's a province called Frosinone. That's where mostly the Frosinone.
Okay.
And that's where mostly the Italians that are in the fish and chip trade are from.
And would be any? Have you been there on holidays?
Oh, that's my
second home.
My second home.
Would there be any indication of a link between there and Ireland at all when you're there?
Oh, there is, absolutely. I mean, we have towns that are twinned with towns here in Ireland.
Yeah.
Naas is twinned with Casalattigo. There are a few places that are twinned, and absolutely, we have an Irish Fest every year on the 14th of August in our town.
Right.
And we have black pudding, we have everything that's Irish at that festival. We have Irish musicians come over to play in it. We have fish and chips at it, which is an Irish breakfast in the mornings.
Right.
It's a great celebration to show our heritage here.
And does everybody go back traditionally at a certain time of the year?
August is the time of the year to go back,
Right.
and this year more than ever, more chippers closed for holidays to go back home because it was cheaper for them to do that than
Yeah,
leaving the
we're
shops
going to talk
open this
about
year.
how tough it
Yeah.
is.
But it was this year was a lot of Italians. I actually missed out on it, and it broke my heart. But
Yeah.
it looked amazing, and they had a great time over there. It was brilliant.
So your parents were originally located where?
My parents were started off in Thomas Street.
Mm-hmm.
I'm born Thomas Street girl, which I'm very
Were you born
proud
at
of.
home?
I'm a Liberties girl. No, I was born in the Rotunda, but
Right.
I'm a Liberties.
Oh, so you didn't go to the Coombe, which would have been
No,
closer?
no. I was born in yes,
Rotunda.
and I'm very proud of that I'm a Liberties girl. And we moved then to Walkinstown when I was 3 years old.
Right. So you've always been around the chipper.
Absolutely.
What's your first memory? Is it?
Standing on a milk crate when I was about 8 years old, serving customers and thinking I was great, that I knew how to add. That was the one thing that I was always good at, was sums, adding
Yeah.
and subtracting, and thinking I was great standing on that milk crate, using the tills that you had, just the button that you pushed
Yeah.
down, and opening the till, putting the money in the till, and that's my biggest, my
And
most
I suppose you
memory.
had to be able to do it in your head. Like, if somebody came in, can I have three chips and a burger, please?
Yes.
You had to know.
In those days you did, yeah. Now
Yeah.
you have everything is digital, so I wouldn't even know a price on the menu now at this stage
Would you not?
anymore. No, it's terrible. And before I used to,
So
customer would
there's a-
order and I'd already have the added up in my
your head, yeah.
Now I wouldn't, because everything is you touch screen and you're ringing it in, and
Yeah.
it's just, that's the way it's gone. It's just different.
We have a lovely relationship with the chipper, don't we? How many, at the height, have you any idea how many Italian chippers there were in the country?
No.
No.
Because the number was always growing, like one child would break away from the family and they would open up their own place, and everybody of my age group had their own shop, and then eventually it got to the stage where one of the children would take over the parents' shop. That was me,
bit
and
like a
being the
farm.
oldest.
Yeah.
And like my brothers and sisters, they all have their own businesses. Well, my sister now is a carer, so she's out of the business, but my two brothers have their own businesses. So it was always impossible to tell you how many.
And are
chippers.
all the Borzas related to you? Or is it a common Italian name?
It's not a common name. I think that somewhere along the line we were all related. I have a branch of Borzas that I'm related to, but the other branch definitely would have been related to me at somewhere down the
Yes,
line.
yeah.
So obviously, the lineage breaks, but we're definitely all have to be related blood-wise. There's the blood lineage there where we are related.
And when you were standing on the crate and doing the calculations in your head, it would have been just fish and chips, would it?
No.
What would you?
In those days, my mum and dad, when they took that shop in Walkinstown, it was half of a grocery shop and half of it was a chipper.
Right.
So as the chipper grew, because we have a much bigger, more extensive menu than we did years ago. As things came onto the menu, the grocery shops started kind of being on the wayside. So eventually we reduced that to zero. We got rid of it altogether. But we used to sell we used to sell coal, we used to sell turf, newspapers, cakes, bread, butter, sweets.
But in the chipper
you name it.
side, the menu, as you say, was a lot more
And then,
restricted.
yes, in those days the menu was very small. The menu started off as just fish and chips,
Yeah.
and then burgers started coming in, and we'd start selling burgers from the microwave with
Pure
them in
posh.
those days, pure, And then curry sauce came in, and then other things, kebabs came in, and then sort of kind of exploded. So now you have to have 10 types of burger, 10 types of this, 10 types of that. So
Do you
the
do
menu,
a spice bag?
I do, yeah.
Right.
I make my own spices for the spice bag.
Nice,
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's my own-
Popular?
Yeah, it's popular. I have a backyard bowl. That's popular.
A which?
Backyard bowl.
Go on.
So the backyard bowl is, so we do, it's a pizza bowl made of pizza bread,
Right.
and we fill it with chips, and then we put whatever toppings you want on it. So we can do a taco on it, we can do battered sausage and a curry sauce on it with chips. I do meatball marinara in it. Just,
So everything is edible.
oh yeah, from your plate, the whole lot is edible. Yes, yeah.
A backyard
Yeah,
bowl.
backyard bowl, I call
That's
it.
the new one
yeah.
on me.
I put it on the menu at the beginning of the year, and it's really doing
Taken
well.
off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do
It's very good.
you double fry your chips?
No. Chips are cooked fresh. Here in Ireland,
Why
they
do
don't
we
like
hear
double
so
frying.
often about double frying?
Oh, England double fries.
Do they?
And so does Amsterdam. Amsterdam is where the friet was originated. And they believe in double frying their chip. It's not a chip unless it's double fried. But no, Ireland doesn't want double fried chips. Ireland wants fresh chips. If you go in and you double fry.
The reason I ask you, I was watching Celebrity MasterChef last night.
Yes, yeah. And he triple fries them.
No, but this particular guy, I can't remember his name, he didn't double fry them. And the chefs are going, oh, you're not double frying your chips.
Yes,
sort of going, looking down their nose at him.
Yeah, no. We don't double fry our chips. Our chips are cooked to order fresh.
And what potatoes do you use?
Crazy thing is we buy our potatoes in from England. Right. We don't have a good supply of potatoes here that will withstand the heats, the temperatures
Is it
of
Maris
the pans.
Piper or Roosters? Or?
So there are Arcadia at the moment. Maris Piper's is the most popular.
Right.
And we'll buy potatoes from Spain and Belgium during when the new season comes in. So right now they're English again. We're back to English potatoes.
Right. How can we recreate the chipper chips at home? What's the secret?
You don't. You don't recreate them. You come to buy them.
I suppose you have those industrial size.
Yeah.
You know,
no, you don't. You never recreate them. You come to buy them, and that's the end of that.
Teresa, be honest with me now.
Yes.
have you ever used an air fryer?
Yes, I have an air fryer at home in my kitchen. Yes.
Right. And you do chips in them?
No.
Have you ever tried just for the laugh, just out of curiosity?
Not even for the laugh. No, not at all.
They're actually quite good.
Are they?
Yes. Yeah. Surprisingly good.
I'll try.
Yeah, you should.
Not my chips, so I'll put sweet potatoes or something in them for the grandchild.
Yeah, but you'll be surprised. It's What do you cook in your air fryer?
I would just heat up things like if something that I just wanted to heat up. I don't really cook anything. I would use my oven to cook.
Because I did. You know what I did when I was on holidays there? I did potato cubes.
Okay. In your air fryer.
In your air fryer, and then I did a sort of an onion and nduja and chilies in the pan.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and then I mixed them all together. The potatoes were still crispy, and then fried a couple of eggs and put it on top. Delicious.
Sounds lovely.
Would you be able to sell that now in your chipper? No.
Not coming out of the air fryer.
No, you're right. You've had a tough time.
So we have had a tough time.
And you personally have had a tough time.
I'm very blessed, and that's the way I look at things.
Right.
I'm very blessed. Yes, I had cancer for the last 6 months. I'm thankfully in the clear.
Great.
Very aware that not everybody can say that they're very blessed. So I try to stay very humble about that. I had cancer for 6 months. I'm in the clear. All is good. I did manage to keep working throughout my chemo, which was great, apart from one time. But I'm very grateful.
I get emotional. You're tearing up there, yeah.
Yeah, I get emotional.
Why is that?
Because it took me out of my business.
Yeah.
More than anything. Sorry.
And that's you live...
I live for my business.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when we say things out loud, it just sort of brings it all back, doesn't it?
I feel very guilty being away. I feel like I'm not looking after my customers. This is turning into a therapy session.
No, I don't mean it that.
Sorry, I feel like I'm away from my customers and that I'm not giving them the best. And I had my daughter and my son-in-law there, and honestly, if it wasn't for them, they were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. But I still feel like I'm taking something away from them that I should be giving them. When I'm not there.
But I
live for my business.
Yeah, and it is that, because I said at the top that it's part of the fabric of communities around the country, the chipper.
But it's also part of my fabric.
Yes, of course.
Because I was born into that. I don't know anything else. This is the be all and the end all for me. And like I said to Jilly earlier on, if I have to die in there, if I have to get to 70 years old or 80 years old and I have to pass away in that shop, well, so be it, because that is my entire being.
Yes.
Apart from my children, obviously, who are the most important people in my life. Yeah. But that is my entire being, is the shop. That's my mum and dad started that as an homage to them. It's very important to me to look after that,
You're on the way out of the cancer?
I am. I'm clear, thank God.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
well,
great,
I'll know in 2 weeks, but I know I'm clear, thank God.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So.
And you were talking about successon earlier on.
Yes.
And I know that in some cases you encourage some of your children not to do it.
I did.
Why so?
Well, my eldest lad
never wanted to do it. And he moved to America very fast. He ran when, we were trying to kind of push him in. So, that was fine. The second lad really did want to, but he has a gift, and his gift is dance. And he was a youth fifth in the world champion here in Latin American dancing, and he has a school now in America, and I'm so glad that I did that. My daughter, I have a younger son, he's 24, he's went to college and he studied, and he's looking for work and he wants to do that line, and I'm fine with that. My daughter wants to come into the business, and I'm encouraging her not to, because it
seems very sad, Teresa.
Because it's too hard, Ray. There's too much. It's not just staying out in the shop for 4 or 5 or 6 hours, whatever time you're open for. There's so much back work.
Give us an idea of your day today now.
So my day today, I got up this morning and I chopped 40 chickens ready for the weekend. I had to cut lettuce. I deboned about 30 pieces of fish, and then I cut them up. I made curry sauce. What else did I do today?
Chips.
Oh, yes. The potatoes had to be peeled, and then they had to be chipped. Then I went out to the front of the shop and I gave a general clean outside. And I had to cook then, when I say loads of fish, I had to cook about 60 fresh cod or 60 smoked cod, onion rings, batter burgers, sausages in batter, anything that I need for the day.
Yes.
Because we try to work with very little waste.
So everything, if you go into Borza's and Walkinstown,
Yes.
if you buy a battered sausage, that's today's battered sausage.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everything has to be cooked fresh, because you want to give the customer the best product that you can. So every day it's the same routine.
So one level, you're encouraging your children not to do it, so you're worried about succession. And then we've heard it right across RT Radio 1 and everywhere else that we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis.
Yes.
And your costs are going through the roof, like doubled in some cases.
Yes. Our costs have skyrocketed. I mean, our electricity bill went from €1,800 a month to 3,000, 4,000 euros a month, depending on the month, because during the summer you use less electricity, but during the winter it was crippling. Our gas went up as well. Obviously they use, the war in Ukraine, which is unfortunate, as an excuse for that. And then
all of your suppliers,
all of our supplies,
their costs are going up, so they have to pass those costs on to you.
They pass everything,
boxes. Our
packaging went up from like one box of boxes that we would use, and it's a very popular box that we use. It went from €20 a box to €53 a box, and everything has VAT on it. So, it's just, everything is crippling us, and this is where you don't sleep at night, because you have to pay for this product, and you have to figure out a way to pay for this product. You don't want to pass the cost on to the customer, because you know that the customer is in the same exact situation that you're in at home. So you're doing your best not to pass it on. But there are times when we just have to bite our lip and go, okay, we don't have a choice. And this is why I suggest to customers, pay in cash, don't pay by card, because as much as you can't get rid of card, cash will yield €50 if you have a €50 note. Your card won't yield that, because there are hidden charges behind it.
Right.
I encourage customers, use the shop's app. Whatever shop you go to, use their own personal app. All shops right now will have their own
As in
app.
chippers.
Chippers.
You refer to them as shops.
I refer to them as shops, but they're chippers.
Yeah.
All the takeaways will have their own app. Use their app,
As opposed to
the bigger
the
guys.
other ones, yeah.
Because they will have deals where they can afford to give you a deal. They can't afford to give you a deal with the big app. They cannot, because the big app has them against the wall.
Do you use don't mention any particular app?
I do.
You do? And what way does that work for you? What's the breakdown?
Now, the breakdown is they're charging us 15%, but it's not 15%, because when you go to look at it, they've taken nearly 30%, because they have a charge here for this. They'll charge you for the customer using the credit card. They'll charge the charges on the credit card.
So it's about 30 cents for every euro.
Yes, it's about 30 cents. Whereas our own apps will charge maybe about 6 or 7%.
Okay. And perfect is somebody coming in and just paying there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And better again is if you come into the shop and
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm saying.
or ring.
Yeah.
Ring the shop, because it just makes so much more sense to do it that way. But it also means that the shop that you go to, the chipper that you go to, the takeaway that you go to, will then have more money to play around with to afford to give you a better deal.
Yeah.
We won't have to put up our prices.
What's the most popular item on the menu?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, for some strange reason, it's fish has always been very popular. But battered sausages, and I even see older customers coming in and buying battered sausages now. Whether it's reminiscing of their youth,
Bit of nostalgia.
I don't know, but
a battered sausage.
Yes, but it's also a meal in itself. With a bag of chips, it's a dinner. You know, and
what
it's
about
a
a battered
cheaper
burger?
dinner.
A battered
Battered
burger.
burgers are popular too. Yes, but
I never liked the battered burger. I was the odd time I'd have a battered sausage, but the battered burger was a bit greasy for me. There's something about the combination.
yes, the meat and the batter. Yeah. Batter burger, I remember years ago, batter burger was, oh my God,
Huge.
Everybody ate batter burgers now. But there's also health conscious
Yes,
coming
people are more
in
health
now.
conscious. Yeah.
People are a lot more health conscious. They don't eat after a
So I'm
certain
surprised the
time.
batter sausage is the most
It's
popular.
one of the most popular. My backyard bowl is very
Your
popular
backyard
too. You know,
Teresa's
I do
backyard bowl.
I do pizza in the shop. That's very popular. I have a great chef that does pizza there.
So what about the future, Teresa? Then, for you, because there are a lot more choice for people now, and those big apps, they make
It's
things that
easier
were
for you to
far
order
away.
everywhere.
They make them more accessible for people, and that's all competition, isn't it?
And absolutely, and that's fine, because I mean, I even see my own children. They'll always go for some other option 1 or 2 days of the week, and that's normal, and that's perfectly fine. The chipper, I believe, can hold its ground if it can survive these hard times. And I know of people that
But you've been through hard times before.
Oh yeah, but you see, unfortunately, other hard times we didn't have to increase our prices the way we have to increase them now, because other hard times, it was hard times around us, but our products were still kept.
I see. Yes.
Prices were kept low, so cheapest chips worked. Cheapest chips, unfortunately, is a thing of the past right now,
And when we're
it's a
on
killer.
phrases, the 1-in-1, do you know where does that come from?
Fish and chips. I think that came from. I actually don't know.
Well, I read it came from Italy.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, look. You can. I read this somewhere, right? Uno de cesta, una de quella.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's 1-in-1. Yeah.
Yeah, one of this and one of the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So pointing at the menu, it became a 1-in-1. Yeah.
That's actually. Now you see, you learn something new every day.
Look, you're welcome anytime. I'll share my vast knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see what they're saying. Please ask the nice woman: are there any chippers in Italy?
No.
No, that's a great question.
No, there are no chippers in Italy. Though we do fish and chips in my hometown on the 14th of August every year. And
is there an equivalent at all?
Yeah,
no equivalent?
No.
Isn't that mad?
No. They did try in our area to open fish and chips in
Didn't
Italy.
work.
It didn't work, no.
Right. Can't beat an Italian burger, chips, onions and curry sauce, is that person. Visited Casalatico last year. Beautiful place and full of Irish Italian families. Very funny to meet the elders outside the pub at night. They're full of chatting Italian and say hello in a Dublin accent, and they'll respond to how you bud. Very funny. And the Borza family in Walkinstown are absolute legends.
Thank
That's
you.
Sean. And can you ask Teresa for her curry sauce recipe? I live in Munich and I tried many times to make an Irish curry sauce and it never tastes the same.
It's the water.
Yeah, chancer, you're right. Yeah. Great answer. Yeah. Do you ever consider politics?
No, yeah.
I grew up in Ballyfermot in the 50s, 60s. Borza was the only chipper. Great memories. That's Ray in Stony Batter. That's a nice batter, yeah. Say hello to Teresa from me. She was always very nice to me when my daughter's Tilly was sick in Our Lady's Hospital. She's a lovely lady. And your guest Teresa is an inspiration.
That's Darren.
What a hard worker. More people would do well to be like her. She's clearly a woman with empathy, kindness and brave and intelligent with it.
Thank you.
Her children are lucky to have her. I wish her well in her life, all in Cork.
Thank you very much.
Well,
that's lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, people can spot these things. All of the things that Orla said are true, obviously. Yeah, I'm stood on a wire there. Something's happened. Hopefully we're still on air. So, yeah, did you answer my question about the future? No, you didn't really.
No, I didn't really, because the future is quite dark right now.
Right.
We don't know. I mean, we spoke about my daughter taking over the business.
And you don't
it
want
would
her to.
be. it would be a struggle for her to take over. My son-in-law is an amazing photographer, and it's his dream to follow that. And I would never stop him. If I didn't stop my own children following their dreams, I wouldn't stop his, obviously. For her to do it on her own would be quite hard. I don't know. That's the answer.
Okay.
I don't know what the future holds. I don't know.
Right.
Right now, I'm not closing down. I'm
Yeah.
here.
You're
I'm
there, open for
working. I'm
business,
not
yes.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, I'm going to say it on air. I am closed for a week next week. So if anybody does see that the shop is closed,
Teresa's
please.
okay. Yes. The backyard bowl will be back on
it'll be back, but it's
first week in
just,
September. Yeah. Okay.
it's just the way it is.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Ray, for
I
having
really
me.
enjoyed that chat. Thank you so much.
And I really appreciate the opportunity
Yeah,
to talk
no.
for all my
Yes.
my family and friends that are out there struggling. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Teresa. Thank you.
Thank you.
The